what's good when this is an under 18 clutch? And unfortunately, for everybody involved for the Detroit Pistons, whether from ownership all the way to the fans, we got to experience some NBA history, but for the wrong reasons, as the Detroit Pistons have once again in a back-to-back loss to the Brooklyn Nets and have extended their losing streak at the time of recording to 27 games, which is the longest in NBA history. And after they just beat out the Philadelphia 76ers and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who both had 26 losing games in a row each. Now the Detroit Pistons is the sole owners of that. And when looking at the Detroit Pistons, when analyzing their problems in the midst of it, I noticed two glaring issues. One, which is from a business perspective, the lack of involvement from ownership. And number two, it's I noticed it's a mindset issue. I'm not saying it's a talent problem from or even a lack of effort. I feel like it's just a matter of their mindset because well, I'll talk about the mindset first. So what I noticed with the Detroit Pistons is like they'll get on a run and things are going well. Okay, they're feeling themselves like, okay, we can do this, we can actually win, we can do something. And then in basketball, it's obviously a game of runs. There's going to be times where, let's say, the Pistons will score 5 points in a row, and then let's say their opponents, whoever it may be, will score anywhere between another 5 in a row or 7 points or 10. And when Brooklyn, for example, or any other team starts like making a contested three, or they are able to drive through the defense, I noticed the Pistons basically just like, through their eyes or through their body language, it's just like, they're like, here we go again, or okay guys, it was fun while it lasted, we're done, and like they just give up so easily because they're thinking to themselves, okay, we know we're done. All right, this is too good to be true. We're about to lose again, and we suck. We're no good. That's it. It's over for us. And I understand like it can be very challenging and tough, but not just in sports, but in life. Life is you're gonna get hit hard time after time again. But if you start giving up too easily, it's only gonna make things worse. You gotta believe that like there is a chance, there's until the clock is zero, there's an opportunity for you to keep going because the Detroit Pistons, with Kate Cunningham, I know he fought to the very end and gave it his best. And now the games are actually closer than before. Whereas in previous games, once they start giving up, they end up getting blown out. Whereas Cade Cunningham, like for example, in these past few games, to avoid this streak, record-breaking streak, he's been trying to, rally the troops, and now they're experiencing slightly different results in terms of like the games are a lot closer than what they should be. And I believe if this can translate to the rest of the team, where they fought to the very end, not necessarily to only avoid being on the wrong side of NBA history, but just to give a massive effort to put in the work they do every day in practice, to basically just not necessarily for pride, just to show like they're giving their best and that they fought to the very end, and they know that they can sleep with themselves knowing that they gave it their all. I do believe that could have ended their losing streak a long time ago. And I understand from personal experience that once you go through a slump, or you have like a lot of things hitting at you like in one shot, whether from events happening in your life that are out of your control, or being told by people around you, or from outside sources that negative things about you, eventually that does get in your head. But what it takes someone very strong, and it takes the ability to ignore all that, know that all that stuff is false, and believe in your own talents and your own abilities, and know that God gave you a purpose and that you can do anything you put your mind to, and that makes a big difference. And I'm using Kate Cunningham as an example because yes, he they may not have won, but he has shown amazing heart and he gave it his 100% best. And all they have to do is just, with that same mindset from their leader, to never give up and just give his best effort. If the rest of the team can do the same thing, I do believe they can win more games than they were expected to. Because I'll give a quote, as Kevin Durant said it best, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So, and there are times where teams are having an off night, and the Detroit Pistons, they can, with the right mindset of believing in themselves and never giving up, even if, let's say, because they face Brooklyn, I'm going to use them as an example. Even if Brooklyn, let's say, goes on a 10-0 run, that doesn't mean they should give up. It just means, like, okay, make some adjustments and go full force and keep going all the way, and like never giving up until it's the end of the game. And I believe they keep giving an effort, and because at the end of the day, their opponents, they're humans. They're gonna have weaknesses. They're gonna screw up a play or two. They can use that to their advantage, and then they can go on their own run and then erase whatever lead they gave up or deficit, and they can end up doing great things. So it's all about just for every single player on the Pistons to have that self-confidence and know that they can do amazing things, and to never quit, and just give it your best all the way to the end, and the wins will come. So, because I know the Pistons, they have talent with Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. I know Isaiah Stewart with his toughness. I know this team does have talent, especially given the fact they're professionals. But still, like, they have a really good core, in my opinion. Asar Thompson, he's also really great as a rookie. It's just a matter of them, like, not beating themselves up or giving up too easily. That's just the main problem with them, is what I notice as a team. But another issue I see from the Detroit Pistons is the lack of attention and presence from their owner, Tom Gores, who I found out he actually confirming from like Detroit Pistons fans who mentioned this, because they're obviously closer with the team than I would be, because I cover all teams possible, but I'm strictly a Heat fan, so I know more about the Heat than I do know about the Pistons. But anyway, with that being said, I found out that through Pistons fans that their owner, Tom Gores, he lives in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills. And basically, he's basically treating the Detroit Pistons as basically a tax write-off, and is not there to take this team seriously, or is not investing as much as like emotionally or into that team as other owners would. And even in the middle of this losing streak, it took basically everybody calling out the owner, the GM, to finally get a response when they're really late into their losing streak. And I find that very sad, because like from a business perspective, one of the key points, like, it's a dream for a lot of people to own a professional sports team, and to just use it as a way to just add to your portfolio, or even to use it as a tax write-off, if that's true. Like, that's just very sad. And because there are a lot of people that spend lots of money and effort into your product, into your company, and for you to give them this product on the court in this case, and not showing any accountability for it, that's really bad practice. Because in business, like, if this was any other like company that sells like for example pens, because I'm holding this in my hand, for example, like if you have a company that sells pens, but they constantly break, or they have this certain issue, and a lot of customers are complaining about this pen, and the owners don't do anything to address this problem, that company's going to shut down, like in no time, basically through the invisible hand. And but the problem with the sports team is that there's going to be people that are going to want to spend money no matter what, and the owners are basically just cashing out on it, which is not right. And it's a slap in the face to the city and to the fans for not giving a true effort and not being invested into this team that you spend billions of dollars to acquire them, it would only make sense for you to give the best effort to bring the best product possible on the court and give back to the community to show fans like you care about them and that this is something that you can give back to the city. And the fact that like it takes like being called out by the media, called out by fans to say something that shows that his heart's not in it. And I believe if the owner was more involved and he showed more of an effort, sort of like a Mark Cuban for the Dallas Mavericks or Steve Ballmer for the Clippers, I do believe that the Detroit Pistons would be in a much better spot because the main reason, like there's an old saying goes that from the top down there's problems, and like obviously there's nobody up top there to begin with. If he's always in California and not in Detroit to take care of his investment, then of course there's going to be a lot of chaos, in this case in basketball, on the court, with a lack of a lack of discipline or a lack of effort, or even their mindset, because it's like, well, shoot, I mean, not even our boss, our owner, is here, and he doesn't even care for us. So like, we can chill, do whatever we want, or what does it matter, because we're not getting the support we need. And that's what leads to all these problems. It trickles down. And so I'm pinning this, instead of like on the coaching scheme or even on the players themselves, I place it on the ownership for giving little to no appreciation or effort on this team, on his investment, leading to a bad product on the court, leading to the players not truly believing in themselves. And like the owner can sometimes be their best friend. He can like help out, like just counsel or even talk to their players as employees to be able to make them feel better and like want to work hard for this guy as their boss. But because he's barely there, there's little desire for the players to try hard, or just or not even care, because at the end of the day they're human beings as well, and they know they're employees, and they want to, like, if they have a boss that cares about them and truly appreciates them for who they are, for their job, they're going to naturally want to work harder to please their boss. I'm saying this it's just a pretty big fact of life. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say here is just for the players, they just need to have the right mindset to never give up and to just give it their best, and they're going to end up winning more games, because it's not a talent issue, it's just a mindset problem. And also the owner, he needs to be involved with the team more and need to show a more effort and appreciation in all aspects in Detroit, so that Detroit Pistons, they will no longer have this issue for years to come, and they can actually do better things. Because even the fans are even saying sell the team because of how messed up this situation is, and how the owner is not giving a what about them. So of course, it's gonna be it's gonna take a lot for the owner to try to make up and try to give back to the community the proper way. So anyway, but there's always I know, like, you can only go up from here, Detroit fans. And look, if to fix this situation, what I would do personally, I would try to follow the Brooklyn Nets route. I think that's the closest example I can give, because the Brooklyn Nets, they were one of the worst teams in the league for many years. They were in like the worst situation. They had no cap space. They lost all their draft picks. They looked like they were going to be the worst team for probably the next 10 years, basically ever since the KG and the Paul Pierce trade. And also, like, just after them falling apart, it looked like they were no good, and they had so many players that none of us knew the names were. There were so many memes on this team, but they ended up slowly but surely taking on guys like D'Angelo Russell, and getting like really talented guys on their roster for cheap. And use that, and were able to save so much cap space for the Brooklyn Nets to end up signing Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, two of the biggest names in the league, when just literally a couple years ago they were looked at as a laughing stock, and they looked like they were going to be the worst team for many years to come with no sign of hope. But the general manager, he put his head down and he gave everything he could, and look what ended up happening. Yes, they may not have won a championship, but they went from a team with no hope and no future to all of a sudden now a perennial playoff threat for years to come, now with Mikal Bridges. So I believe there's a formula for the Detroit Pistons to fix this issue from a management perspective, but it's all a matter of them executing and trying to make the right deals and like being patient and make the smart decisions instead of like the flashy or the or what everybody's hyping out to be. Because the Nets, they had a process, they followed it through, and they received the reward because of it. Now they're out of the slump of being the worst team in the league, and they're doing pretty well. So that's just something I have to bring a solution for the Pistons. But let me know what you guys think, and how would you guys fix the problem with the team overall. I certainly love to hear you guys out in the comment section down below. Please let me know what you guys think. What would you do? And yeah, I'd love to hear you guys out. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I certainly love and appreciate every single last one of y'all. God bless you all so much, and talk soon.